Hi, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and hi, I'm Josh in recovery and vigilantly battling the diseases of addiction and mental health. Today we're playing a little bit of catch up, so I'll be reading from Keep It Simple and August 15th, but eventually I'll do enough recording so that we'll be on schedule and ideally ahead of schedule so I can schedule these posts for all of you. I'm also in the process of moving, so this whole setup will look a lot different. Hopefully I don't mention that every single video, but I do like to mention it just because of the fact that these readings are a little bit behind, but it's important to me that they're still being read, so that way people can gain some experience, strength, and hope from these readings. So Keep It Simple, August 15th. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. William Shakespeare. We are addicts. We suffer from an illness. We go to 12-step meetings because we know who we are. We have a sponsor because we know who we are. We ask friends for support because we know who we are. We know why we need our higher power to guide us. Recovery is a spiritual journey. In this journey, we are followers, not guides. It's a journey that will change us. We don't know how recovery will change us, but we know it will. Is my faith strong enough for my journey? Part of how we get strong for our journey is by knowing we are who we truly are, addicts. Prayer for the day. I pray to remember who I am, so I'll learn to respect the power of my illness. Action for the day. I'll take time to remember my past, both good and bad. I'll also take time to think about who I am now, how far I've come. So one of my favorite phrases to share in meetings is, I didn't come this far just to get this far. So whether it's day one or 5 years in or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, that's one of the things that I always say in my shares. I didn't come this far just to get this far. Also, for my higher power, which is the universe and nature, because I know time doesn't stop just because I was in a hospital or in detox or in rehab. The world kept spinning. People kept living their lives. So long after I'm gone, redwood trees will still be around, the ocean will still be rolling in waves, the wind will still be rustling the leaves. So for me, that's very powerful. So is meditation. So that's kind of like a big action of the day, is taking an inventory of both, the good and bad of my past, learning from those lessons, and when it comes to the bad, not repeating them. Because at the end of the day, I'm working either towards recovery or I'm working towards relapse. And my goal is to intentionally and willingly work the program hard and stay at the center of the fellowships. That way, I'm moving closer and closer and closer towards my recovery and keeping that and maintaining that 24 hours a day, as opposed to potentially having red flags and moving closer to relapse. That being said, the Accountability Group is our YouTube channel, so I'd love for people to subscribe, watch our videos, like our videos, but most importantly, use the comments section. That's a great opportunity for the newcomers to ask questions about their recovery, how to work the program, how to find a temporary sponsor, a real active sponsor, how to go to different meetings, and actually share one of my recommendations. But I never feel like you should push recovery on another individual. They have to have the intentional willingness to recover. But one thing that I've always shared in my shares is that if you are a newcomer, it's okay to share and raise your hand and say, hi, my name is blank, and I'm new to these 12 steps into this program, and I'm looking for a temporary sponsor or a permanent sponsor. And as the meeting ends, when that happens, you'll see a whole bunch of people who get asked, everyone with a year or more, please raise your hand. And then what will happen after that, at the end of the meeting, you'll tend to have a whole bunch of people flood you, give you their number, plug you into a network. And especially if you're my home group, since I'm the men's liaison, I will immediately approach you if I've never seen you at the meeting. Now, individuals there I've bumped into who have 12, 15, 20 years, and they're like, yeah, I'm good. I already have a sponsor and a grant sponsor. And I'm like, all right, cool. It's just that I haven't seen you at this meeting. And that generally happens with out-of-towners since it's DC. But in other cases, it is just someone who's brand new and is at their bottom and they do want to recover. And that's why it's so important to me that accountability and being present and trying to help another individual, giving away what AA and NA has given to me is the only way that I know of staying sober while being at the center of the fellowship. And being at the center of the fellowship does require consistency and presence and an intentional willingness to work the program hard. We also have a Twitter account, which is #BuildingHope, but there's also the ability to go to the Explore section and search for #recoveryposse and #ODAAT, and that stands for one day at a time, and you will find countless posts of individuals who are going through either new stages of recovery, the early stages, or have plenty of time underneath their belt. And there's always this constant back and forth where people are cheering individuals on, sharing their experiences, strength, and hope, and keeping one another accountable. So I even got a message because I was gone for like 3 or 4 days taking care of some personal things with my family. So I wasn't able to post, even though you can post on Twitter with your phone, but the priority was, being present for real life. And that's kind of, the importance of the programs is that it's not just that you're working the program during that 1 hour, it's that you're working the program in real life. You're working the program 24 hours because it is a blueprint and instruction manual on how to navigate life. But I received a bunch of ads and DMs on Twitter of, we haven't seen you post in a while, is everything okay? And I was really, I really felt that, and it was really appreciated. So I made sure to comment, make a tweet real fast to everyone so that follows me, and then also respond to all of the DMs and just thank everyone, for caring enough to at me and just wonder if everything's okay. And then finally, we do have an Instagram, and that's #recovery, and it's all about spreading positivity and ways to recover and ways to get back our hobbies. But it's also great for additionally a comment section where if you're new and dealing with post-acute withdrawal, or you have years of sobriety, or at least a year of sobriety underneath your belt, where you can share your experience, strength, and hope. So I run all 3 of those social platforms because I'm the chronic relapser. I am the frequent flyer, where unfortunately I know about the doctors, technicians, the nurses, kids, proposals, marriage, fiance, husband. It's not a good thing when you know all that information. I say that and laugh just because when I think back years ago to one of the nurses actually asking me for a recommendation for his daughter to go to the college that I went to for undergrad and grad school, I just am like, gosh, how did I get through those days? Because my addiction is horrible. I mean, it's a progressive disease. If I were to pick up today, it'd be way worse, and I'd be back to a terrible place way faster. So that being said, that's my strength. What I've gained from the programs is, being consistent and being present and making sure that I do spot inventories, that I am using, the intentional willingness to work hard each and every day to maintain my 24 hours. It's not about just the 1 hour of the meeting, it's the whole day. 1 day at a time. So you just take 2 days, stay sober 2 days. Yesterday doesn't have rollover minutes, so it's not necessarily going to help you today, and tomorrow hasn't come, so try not to worry too much about that. It's important not to shut the door on the past, but it is important to be introspective and self-aware so you can learn from those lessons of the past and move on. Because what I always try and do is be the best version of myself and a better version than I was yesterday, and set myself up to be a better version tomorrow than I am of myself today. So with that, I am the founder of the Accountability Group, and I wish you to stay safe, stay strong, and stay sober. And I'm also Josh, in recovery, battling the diseases of addiction and mental health.